This podcast is sponsored by Renewal by Anderson of Central Pennsylvania, which is hosting a 29-year anniversary sale. Ooh.
And in honor of this anniversary, Renewal by Anderson of Central Pennsylvania is offering 25% off windows and doors at no money down, no payments, and no interest for a whole year.
Visit renewalbyanderson.com before this deal ends at the end of June.
Nearly 30 drinks have been recalled for undisclosed ingredients. In Harrisburg, protesters entered Capitol offices to decry the influence of PA's richest man. A bill that would outlaw the distribution of deepfakes has advanced, and it was recently the anniversary of an iconic experiment. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and you're listening to Today in PA. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has, so far for this year, recalled 28 beverages due to quote-unquote undeclared ingredients, reports northcentralpa.com. The majority of these drinks, meaning all but 4 of them, were recalled because they contained drugs, bacteria, or harmful chemicals like arsenic and even anti-inflammatory medications that weren't listed on their labels. Schweppes Zero Ginger Ale and a couple of PepsiCo products are among those listed, but for the full list, please check the related podcast article link. Around 250 activists entered the offices of 4 state senators at the Pennsylvania Capitol on Monday. Senators who accepted campaign contributions either directly or indirectly funded by quote-unquote PA's richest man, reports PennLive. Jeffrey Yass is a billionaire in Montgomery County who co-founded a Philadelphia-based trading and technology firm called Susquehanna International Group. He's also a major investor in TikTok. With chants such as, quote, Yass rolls the dice, we pay the price, unquote, these protesters mainly view Yass as the primary force behind a push to enact taxpayer-funded vouchers via these donations. These vouchers, according to critics like the protesters, will privatize schools and rob others of a good education. In fact, this protest came ahead of legislation that's teed up for a vote in the Senate already that would make such a taxpayer-funded private scholarship program a part of the 2024-25 state budget deal. The money instead, according to the protesters, should be put to public schools, says spokesman for one of the senators, Jason Thompson, in response to the protesters, quote, when we cut through the cheap chants and slogans and get down to the facts, we see that many of the schools protesting for more money already receive some of the highest amounts of funding from the state. The status of this voucher program remains pending as of the recording of this episode. The state Senate has recently unanimously passed a bill that would outlaw the distribution of deepfakes, states the Associated Press. Specifically salacious or pornographic deepfakes. One provision under the bill would make it a crime to try to harass someone by distributing a deepfake image of them without their consent while in a state of nudity or engaged in a sexual act. This offense, of course, would be more serious if the victim is a minor. The other provision would outlaw deepfakes created and distributed as child sexual abuse images. This legislation is now heading to the House. It's been almost 300 years since Ben Franklin famously flew a kite in the middle of a thunderstorm with a key attached to it to demonstrate the electrical nature of lightning, begins Billy Penn. And the anniversary of that event was on Monday. Yep, on June 10th, 1752 in Philadelphia, Ben and his son, although they had originally planned to conduct the experiment on top of a church spire, went out into a field in order to test this iconic key kite. And while the kite didn't get electrocuted as this story sometimes goes, it did pick up an electrical charge from the storm that did indeed show a connection between lightning and electricity. That's all for today. For even more news, drop by PennLive.com. Also, please don't forget to rate this podcast and to leave it an honest review, too. Thanks ahead of time, and of course, thanks for listening. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and we'll get back together tomorrow for some more Today in PA.
This podcast is sponsored by Renewal by Anderson of Central Pennsylvania, which is hosting a 29-year anniversary sale. Ooh.
And in honor of this anniversary, Renewal by Anderson of Central Pennsylvania is offering 25% off windows and doors at no money down, no payments, and no interest for a whole year.
Visit renewalbyanderson.com before this deal ends at the end of June.